Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why your hair seems thinner than it did just a few years ago? Maybe you've tried expensive shampoos, hair masks, vitamins, and even special brushes. Yet every morning, you still notice hair in the sink, on your pillow, or in the shower drain. What if I told you that the problem may not be your hair at all? What if the real issue begins much deeper, inside your scalp, your circulation, your hormones, your inflammation levels, and even the quality of your sleep? Here's something many people don't realize. Hair is one of the fastest growing tissues in the human body, but it's also one of the first tissues to suffer when the body detects stress, nutrient shortages, hormonal imbalance, or poor circulation. In other words, your hair is constantly receiving signals from the rest of your body, and when those signals are healthy, growth happens. When those signals are disrupted, shedding begins. Now, you've probably seen claims online saying that a single oil can magically regrow hair overnight. Unfortunately, biology doesn't work that way. Hair follicles are living structures. They require oxygen, nutrients, healthy blood flow, balanced hormones, and a low inflammatory environment to function properly. However, there is one fascinating strategy that has attracted increasing scientific attention over the years. Certain natural oils contain compounds that may support scalp health, reduce oxidative stress, improve the scalp environment, and help create conditions that favor stronger hair growth. And one oil in particular stands out: rosemary oil. In fact, many researchers have become interested in rosemary oil because some studies suggest it may support hair growth through mechanisms that involve circulation, inflammation control, and follicle protection. But here's what most people miss: the oil itself is only part of the story. The real magic happens when you combine the right oil with the right nighttime physiology. You see, while you sleep, your body enters repair mode. Growth hormone rises, cellular recovery increases, tissue regeneration accelerates, blood vessels relax, inflammation often decreases. Your body literally performs maintenance while you rest. That's why bedtime can be one of the most strategic times to support scalp health. Today, I'm going to show you what's really going on inside your body when hair begins thinning, how rosemary oil may help support healthier follicles, why sleep plays such an important role in hair recovery, and most importantly, the practical steps you can use to maximize your results naturally. And if you're serious about improving not only your hair, but also your overall metabolic health, healthy aging, and longevity, stay with me until the end, because several of the most powerful hair growth strategies have nothing to do with hair products at all. They begin with improving the internal environment that your follicles depend on every single day. Before we dive in, if you enjoy evidence-based health education explained in a simple and practical way, consider subscribing. I share content regularly to help you understand how your body really works so you can make smarter decisions for your health. Many people believe hair loss starts at the hair follicle, but in reality, hair loss often starts long before the follicle is affected. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Think of a hair follicle like a factory. Every day, that factory needs raw materials, energy, oxygen, and communication signals to keep producing strong, healthy hair strands. Now imagine that the roads leading to the factory become damaged, deliveries arrive late, power becomes unreliable, communication systems begin failing. Eventually, production slows down. The factory itself isn't necessarily broken. It's simply not receiving what it needs to function. This is exactly what happens in many cases of hair thinning. The follicle is often responding to a less than optimal internal environment. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine planting a seed in dry, nutrient-poor soil. You could buy the most expensive seed in the world, but if the soil remains unhealthy, growth will always be limited. Your scalp functions the same way. Hair follicles thrive when the scalp environment is rich in nutrients, oxygen, circulation, and low levels of inflammation. Unfortunately, modern lifestyles can create the opposite conditions. Chronic stress increases cortisol. Poor sleep reduces recovery. Blood sugar instability increases oxidative stress. Inflammatory diets can negatively affect circulation. Nutrient deficiencies may limit the building blocks needed for healthy hair production. Over time, these factors can shorten the growth phase of the hair cycle. Hair naturally grows through several stages. The anagen phase is the active growth stage. The catagen phase is a transition stage. The telogen phase is a resting stage. When the body experiences ongoing stress, inflammation, or metabolic dysfunction, more follicles can shift prematurely into the resting phase. The result: more shedding, less growth, thinner looking hair. This is why two people can use the exact same shampoo and experience completely different outcomes. One person has healthy circulation, balanced hormones, quality sleep, and adequate nutrition. The other person may have insulin resistance, elevated stress hormones, nutrient deficiencies, or chronic inflammation. The follicle responds accordingly. What the research shows is that blood flow appears to play a critical role in follicle health. Hair follicles are highly active tissues that require a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients. When circulation becomes compromised, follicle performance can suffer. This is one reason researchers became interested in natural compounds that support scalp circulation. And this brings us to rosemary oil. Rosemary contains plant compounds that have been studied for their potential effects on circulation and oxidative stress. Scientists believe these mechanisms may help create a healthier environment around the follicle. Notice something important here. We're not talking about magic. We're talking about biology. We're talking about improving conditions. And when conditions improve, the body often performs better. The same principle applies to weight loss, metabolic health, muscle growth, and hair growth. Your body responds to its environment. So before thinking about hair products, ask yourself a deeper question. What kind of environment am I creating for my follicles every day? Am I sleeping enough? Am I controlling blood sugar? Am I consuming enough protein? Am I managing stress? Am I getting the vitamins and minerals required for tissue repair? These questions matter because healthy hair is often a reflection of overall health. In functional medicine, we rarely ask only, how do we stop hair loss? Instead, we ask, why is the body reducing hair growth in the first place? That shift in thinking changes everything, because once you identify the root causes, you can begin supporting the body in ways that naturally encourage stronger growth. And that's where rosemary oil becomes especially interesting, not as a miracle cure, but as a tool that may help support a healthier scalp environment when combined with the right nutrition, recovery, circulation, and lifestyle habits. If this is helping you see hair growth from a completely different perspective, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. Every day, I share practical science-based strategies designed to help you optimize your health from the inside out. Now that we've established why the internal environment matters so much, let's look at what actually happens during sleep and why bedtime may be one of the most powerful opportunities to support healthier hair growth. Now let's talk about something most people completely overlook when it comes to hair growth: sleep. Not just getting enough sleep, but understanding what your body is actually doing while you sleep. Because if hair growth is a repair process, then nighttime is when many of those repairs begin. Here's what's really going on inside your body. During deep sleep, your body shifts into recovery mode. Energy that was previously being used for movement, digestion, decision-making, and responding to stress can now be redirected toward maintenance and repair. Think of it like a city after midnight. Traffic slows down, road crews come out, repairs begin, systems are inspected, problems are fixed. Your body operates in a surprisingly similar way. One of the most important players in this process is growth hormone. Growth hormone is involved in tissue repair, protein synthesis, cellular recovery, and regeneration throughout the body. While it's not a direct hair growth hormone, it helps create conditions that support healthy tissues, including the scalp and hair follicles. At the same time, quality sleep helps regulate cortisol. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone. In small amounts, cortisol is essential for survival, but chronically elevated cortisol can create challenges throughout the body. It can contribute to inflammation, impair recovery, affect blood sugar regulation, and potentially disrupt the normal hair growth cycle. This is why periods of prolonged stress are frequently associated with increased hair shedding. The body essentially reallocates resources away from non essential functions and toward immediate survival. Unfortunately, hair growth is not considered a survival priority. The body can survive without thick hair. It cannot survive without stable blood sugar, a functioning heart, or a healthy immune system. So when stress remains high for weeks or months, hair follicles may receive fewer resources. Now let's connect this to bedtime scalp care. Many people apply rosemary oil in the evening because it allows several uninterrupted hours of contact with the scalp. While you sleep, the oil remains in place, supporting the scalp environment without interference from sweat, styling products, sunlight, or daily activities. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine watering a garden. If you water it during a windstorm, much of the water is lost. If you water it during calm conditions, more reaches the roots. Nighttime creates those calmer conditions. The scalp is undisturbed. The body is focused on repair, and the environment may be more favorable for recovery processes. So how should rosemary oil actually be used? One common approach is dilution. Pure essential oils are highly concentrated and should not typically be applied directly to the skin. Instead, a few drops of rosemary oil can be mixed with a carrier oil. Examples include jojoba oil, argan oil, or coconut oil. The goal is not to soak the scalp. More is not better. A small amount is usually sufficient. Gently massage the mixture into areas of thinning for several minutes. That massage itself may provide additional benefits. Why? Because mechanical stimulation can temporarily increase local blood flow. Remember the factory analogy from earlier. Improving circulation helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to the tissues that need them. The massage becomes part of the strategy, not just the oil. Now here's another mistake many people make. They expect immediate results. Hair biology doesn't move that fast. Hair grows in cycles that unfold over months, not days. Even under ideal conditions, follicles require time to respond. Patience is essential. Consistency matters more than intensity. A simple nightly routine followed for several months is often far more effective than aggressive treatments used for only a few days. This is where many people quit too early. They stop just before meaningful changes have had enough time to develop. The lesson here is simple. Healthy hair growth is rarely the result of one miracle product. It's the outcome of repeated signals sent to the body day after day. Better sleep, lower stress, improved circulation, adequate nutrition, a healthier scalp environment. These factors work together, and when they do, the follicles are given a much better opportunity to thrive. In the next section, we're going to go even deeper into the complete evening protocol, including nutrition, protein intake, key micronutrients, and metabolic strategies that help support stronger, healthier hair from the inside out. Now let's put everything together into a practical evening protocol that supports healthier hair growth from the inside out. Because here's the truth. Even the best scalp treatment can only do so much if the body lacks the raw materials needed to build hair. Remember, hair is primarily made of protein. Every strand requires amino acids, minerals, energy, and healthy cellular function. Without those building blocks, follicles simply cannot perform at their best. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're constructing a house. You hire the best builders in the world. You create the perfect construction site. You provide ideal weather conditions, but you never deliver the bricks. Construction slows down regardless of how skilled the workers are. Hair growth works the same way. Your follicles need materials, and one of the most overlooked materials is protein. Many people consume far less protein than they realize, especially as they age. Yet protein supplies the amino acids required to build keratin, the structural protein that forms hair. This is why a hair-supportive evening routine should begin long before you apply any oil. It begins with what you eat throughout the day. Aim to include quality protein sources such as fish, eggs, poultry, Greek yogurt, legumes, or other protein-rich foods appropriate for your dietary preferences. Consistent protein intake provides the body with a steady supply of building blocks for repair and growth. Next, let's discuss blood sugar. This may seem unrelated to hair, but it matters more than most people think. Large swings in blood sugar can increase oxidative stress and inflammation throughout the body. Over time, this can affect circulation, recovery, and overall tissue health. Stable blood sugar supports a healthier internal environment. A practical strategy is avoiding large amounts of sugar and refined carbohydrates late in the evening. Instead, focus on balanced meals that combine protein, healthy fats, fiber, and nutrient dense whole foods. This helps create steadier energy levels overnight. Now, let's talk about several nutrients that deserve special attention. Iron plays a role in oxygen transport. Zinc participates in numerous cellular processes, including tissue repair. Vitamin D influences immune regulation and follicle function. Biotin contributes to normal hair health, although deficiencies are relatively uncommon in many people. Omega-3 fats help support a healthy inflammatory response. Magnesium supports relaxation, sleep quality, and hundreds of biochemical reactions throughout the body. Notice the pattern. These nutrients are not acting as miracle cures. They support the systems that support the follicles. That distinction is important. In functional medicine, we focus on creating conditions for health rather than forcing outcomes. The body often knows how to heal when given the right environment. Now let's create a simple bedtime routine. About 2 to 3 hours before bed, finish your final meal. Avoid excessive sugar and highly processed foods. Hydrate adequately throughout the day, but avoid drinking large amounts of fluid immediately before sleep. 1 hour before bed, begin reducing bright light exposure. This helps support natural melatonin production. Melatonin is known primarily as a sleep hormone, but it also has antioxidant properties that may help support healthy cellular function. Next, perform a brief scalp massage using diluted rosemary oil. Spend 3 to 5 minutes gently massaging the scalp. Do not scrub aggressively. Gentle consistency is the goal. Then prioritize high-quality sleep. A cool, dark, quiet room can make a significant difference. Try maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Remember, your body thrives on rhythm. Hair follicles do too. And here's a key insight many people miss. The most powerful hair growth strategy may actually be stress reduction. Chronic stress can influence hormones, inflammation, recovery, sleep quality, and the hair cycle itself. This means activities such as evening walks, breathing exercises, prayer, meditation, reading, or relaxation practices may indirectly support healthier hair over time. Everything is connected. Your metabolism affects your hormones affect your recovery affects your follicles affect the quality of your hair. When you understand these connections, you stop chasing isolated solutions and begin supporting the entire system. And that shift often produces the most meaningful long-term results. If you've stayed with me this far, you're already ahead of most people who focus only on products and ignore physiology. Hair growth is not just about what you put on your scalp, it's about what you provide to your body every single day. And when you combine healthy habits with consistent scalp support, you give your follicles the best possible chance to grow stronger, healthier hair over time. As we wrap up, let's bring everything together. Today, we explored a topic that is often surrounded by hype, marketing promises, and quick fix solutions. The idea that a single drop of oil can magically regrow hair overnight may sound appealing, but real biology is far more interesting and far more powerful. Because healthy hair growth is not the result of a miracle, it's the result of creating the right conditions inside and outside the body. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your hair follicles are constantly responding to signals. They respond to circulation. They respond to nutrition. They respond to inflammation. They respond to stress. They respond to sleep quality. And they respond to the overall health of your metabolic environment. When those signals are supportive, follicles are more likely to remain in a healthy growth phase. When those signals are disrupted, shedding can increase and growth can slow. That's why we began by looking beyond the hair itself. We discussed how thinning hair can sometimes reflect deeper issues involving stress, recovery, nutrient status, blood sugar balance, and overall physiological health. Then we explored why rosemary oil has attracted so much attention. Not because it's magic, not because it changes biology overnight, but because it may help support a healthier scalp environment, improve local circulation, and contribute to conditions that favor stronger follicle function when used consistently over time. We also discussed one of the most overlooked aspects of hair health: sleep. While you're asleep, your body enters one of its most important repair and recovery periods. Growth hormone rises, recovery processes increase, stress pathways calm down. The body performs maintenance that simply cannot happen as efficiently during a busy, stressful day. And finally, we built a practical evening protocol: quality protein, balanced nutrition, stable blood sugar, stress management, consistent sleep, gentle scalp massage with diluted rosemary oil, simple habits that work together to support the entire system. Because that's the key lesson I want you to remember. Hair health is rarely about one product. It's about creating an environment where healthy growth becomes more likely. Think of your hair as a reflection of what is happening beneath the surface. When you improve the soil, the plant often grows stronger. When you improve the internal environment, the follicles often respond more favorably. So here's my challenge for you. Don't try to change everything at once. Choose one action from today's video. Maybe it's improving your bedtime routine. Maybe it's increasing your protein intake. Maybe it's reducing evening sugar. Maybe it's starting a consistent scalp massage practice with diluted rosemary oil. Pick one habit and commit to it for the next few weeks. Observe how your body responds. Track your progress. Stay patient. And remember that lasting health improvements are usually the result of small actions repeated consistently. Your body is always listening to the signals you provide. Make those signals supportive, and remarkable things can happen over time. If this video added value to your day, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. Join our community of people who are committed to improving their health naturally through science, nutrition, lifestyle, and smart daily habits. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep learning, keep improving, and keep giving your body the conditions it needs to thrive. I'll see you in the next video.